Recording in progress. Yo, people, what's popping? So, episode 2 of the Triple P Physique Pro Podcast. Tim's already buckled. We just had a little discussion pre-hand as to what we're going to discuss this week. So, we're going to get straight into it with fake drugs, mainly because Tim's finally found real drugs and it's put him in hospital. Go on then, Tim.
I can't pinpoint it being the drugs. However, I was in A&E 2 nights ago. Just randomly woke up at like 1:30 in the morning, drenched in sweat, but almost like a hypothermia. Just couldn't get warm. Just couldn't stop shaking, shivering, and also couldn't stop sweating. But when I mean sweating, like I was in a 90-degree sauna for just 6 hours. Like you could wring water out my clothes. It was mental. And then I just started like salivating like crazy. Like spit was coming out my mouth and stuff on the way there. So for 4 hours we rung A&E. So at 4:30, Megan drove me to A&E and Maps getting ballistic at her in the car because she was going like 25 mile an hour in a 30 in like around these villages on the way to the A&E. And I was like, I literally think I'm dying. Can you please put your foot down? Made a park in like the ambulance bay outside as well. Straight in.
Crawled
And
in.
you are?
You crawled in.
Yeah. And then he checked like blood pressure, everything, heart rate, oxygen levels, and it was all okay. You had no idea what was going on. And then by 6:30, it just completely stopped. So I had 5 hours of just hell. Like I literally thought I thought I had sepsis or something. Probably didn't help that I used a week-old insulin pin to pin my growth as well. That was my initial thought. I thought, fuck.
Just been a week old.
You
You
are?
made it. As in you made it a week
No, as in like I'd used the same pin for a week.
ago.
To be fair, I'll probably use the same pin once for probably like a year.
Yeah, like, come on. There's no way. Nick, surely you've used the same sub-Q pin over and over.
Well, did you see my leg the other day?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Was that from that?
That was from a shot that obviously I don't use drugs in this country. First and foremost, just putting
Yeah.
it out there. But the shot actually bent inside, so like went in like the superficial layer, like like above the fat, and just instantly it just went that color, like that, and it's just created like a boil almost, and it was
Yeah, like instantaneously as well.
like under 10 seconds, mate. It just went bright purple, and it was like someone, when bruise comes up after like 3 days.
It
It
looked
was
like
that color
it looked like,
instantly.
it was like a paintball bruise within 10 seconds.
Yeah, it's all blistered now as well, so obviously it's come to the surface and flooded out. But yeah, that was just from a bench shot.
But yeah,
So
I was thinking, shit, I've fucked it here. I've got sepsis or something,
yeah.
but apparently I hadn't. So
Did they check your blood glucose or anything whilst you're in hospital?
no, the check my blood pressure, that was the best it's been in a long time. So that was fun. And that was while I was shivering and shaking. So that's fantastic. I'm happy about that. And then at the end, so I didn't tell him I was on gear or anything. And then at the end, he was like, "Yeah, you ready to go?" And I was like, "Just to let you know, I am, using." And then he went on the NHS and Googled testosterone. He didn't have a clue what Masterin was or anything else. Google testosterone, goes down to side effects, uncommon side effects, hot flushes, and he like highlights it and goes, "There you go." And I was like, "No, it's not." He's like, "Yeah, hot flushes, it can cause it." And I'm like, "This is not hot flush from fucking testosterone that I've used for 8 years." And he was like, "Sometimes you can be taking things for 20 years and you randomly have a side effect." And I was like, "Oh my God." Just absolutely
To be
pathetic.
honest, if you had to justify the fact that you're using gear to them, then you need to up your doses a little bit.
But he checked like a urine sample and stuff. And he left the room. And I'm starting to feel a little bit better at this point. And I'm like bouncing around the room. I was like shadowboxing Megan, sat down. And he walks in and I'm shadowboxing Megan.
Brilliant.
Need to lower the dose.
So yeah, been
I need
fine.
whatever drugs you are taking. Fucking idiot. But we brought it up because we're talking about fake drugs that I think all of us experienced. I think most recently would be Ben. Well, and Ben and Nick, it was kind of like overlap. Ben's first over half the prep.
Well, I think, was it the second show? We were on no carbs for like a full week, and my weight was a moving. I just seemed to be growing.
Yeah,
And the only thing that
growing and be like, I'm
changed
getting really strong in the gym on this no carb.
Well, you think that potentially maybe why I was flattening off so quick.
Yeah.
Refeeds.
So you changed laps after the first show?
I think so, yeah.
You see it a lot in Dubai. I feel like people have a real hard time in Dubai to get anything real. I've experienced it a lot with clients in Dubai. That a lot of it is just bunk and fake out there. But I don't think I've ever used anything that bad. I don't think I've ever had it where it's like been that bunk, to be fair.
That back shot post workout was fucking bigger at the end of the week after doing no carbs than it was the start.
Yeah. It was the weirdest thing I've ever experienced because it was like legit fake, but we've got all the fat off Natty and then just grew into the rest of it. That is how you actually grow into a show. Use fake gear for the majority of it, and then start using it.
You know, Yomi. Did you see his story the other day?
Put master on him and gain 20 pounds.
He had master in 2 days, and he went up like 10 pounds overnight.
And Nick, you also did a blast with no gear.
Yeah, 17 weeks straight with testosterone coming back at, what was it, 9? Was it 9 or 11? 11, I think.
I think it was 11.
11 animal. Yeah. So that was a fun one. No estrogen. No.
Still grew into a new category, so it's fine. This makes me think as well. It's just like so many people rely on their progress being related around gear when it's just so not. But at the same time, like I also don't like when people say gear is the cherry on top because it's not. It is the cake.
It's always people like that claim how hard they work, and then it's just the icing, it's just the cherry on top. No, it's not.
That's quite a bit.
It is the full cake. Like, especially if you respond well to it. Like, it's probably the cherry for me and you, but like for anyone that does metabolize it well, it is the cake.
Yeah, legit. Like all of Ben's growing is literally down to gear. Doesn't guy doesn't even train.
I don't even train the failure. There's definitely a mindset thing around it though, isn't there? Because you see it happen all the time. Someone drops down to a cruise and within a fucking week they're weak. You know? But like I had a client who went through a push-up similar to Nick. His buzz came back like 5. And he made fucking crazy progress. And I was like, you can fucking take that forward now. Like you've made this progress while having less tests than a fucking old woman. But just because you weren't aware of it, you didn't. He was like, I'm fucking so strong, you know?
Yeah, it's
like, definitely a mindset piece.
Yeah, it's like people's mindset when they dip into prep. Oh, probably going to get weaker now, bro. And I'm like, no. You might at like 2 weeks out, but I promise you're probably going to keep progressing from here. Like it does my head in. Like they use that as like the excuse of like, oh, I got weaker. But if you go into a session thinking you're going to be weaker, yeah, you're probably going to be weaker.
Megan's a good example of that. I instilled that from the start with her with prep, and I literally said, like, if you start dropping reps, you're gonna lose muscle. And throughout prep, that just stayed in the back of her head, and she just progressed throughout the full prep as a nanny and never dropped anything and just got stronger and stronger and stronger. But it is that mindset of you drop into a deficit and they think the lifts are going to drop, and then I always see, for me, like with athletes in prep, when things start slowing down and you've pretty much done everything and they shouldn't be slowing down and the look gets worse, I'll say send me training footage, and then you see it and you just see the training like an absolute bitch and the training's gone to shit, and then that's why they're perhaps slowing down, that's why their looks fading or the body weight's not coming down. It is everything in a prep, upholding training performance massively.
People tend to start rushing at prep as well, because they're feeling tired, they don't want to be in the gym.
Yeah.
So like the actual quality of what they're doing and like taking less time between sets what they usually would. So you're not going to be performing as well as you would be.
Yeah.
I remember my prep, and I can remember the day I got weaker on my first exercise, and I think I must have been like 2.5, 3 weeks out or something. And I can remember where I was. I remember what exercise it was because that's how much it stuck in my head. That's how annoyed I was. It was a single arm, the hammer strength lat pull down.
That's hard to progress even in the off season, though. To be
Yeah, it
fair.
is. But it got to that point, and I was still logbooking at that point. And not after that day, I decided to not logbook the rest of that last 2.5 weeks because I dropped reps. I fucking shouted my head off in the gym, and I threw my logbook across the gym like I was that pissed off. I mean, granted, looking back, I just think what a loser.
All
But
right.
I was hard. But then like the rest of the prep, just like I got stronger and bigger into the prep. I'm only joking. I looked like a fucking child at the end of prep. But I also think that is a good thing. Like if you start to get to that point where it's like 2 weeks out, just get rid of your logbook, man.
Mm.
At that point, it is literally just fine tuning the look, and it's not necessarily so much about what you're doing in the gym, really.
Yeah, if you're ready, if you're there or thereabouts at 2.5 weeks out, it's not the be all and end all at that point because you're going to start pulling down fatigue anyway. But it's just when it's like 4 weeks in, 6 weeks in, and it's like you've just not got weaker though. It's when they're hungry 4 weeks in, and it's like, are you for fucking real? Or they tell you you've got a craving. You can't go 4 weeks without craving something like that you're in the wrong sport.
Yeah, legit. Legit.
I actually had to pull someone out of prep a few days ago. Oh, well, I've actually pulled them as a client in general because they're 3 weeks into a prep and they've already like binged.
Who is
So
it?
I've got rid. I won't say who it is, but they
Oh,
started
no.
arguing. They started arguing back that they know their body the best and that they needed the food because of their energy. And he's 3 weeks into prep. Bear in mind, and I gave him an ultimatum of, "You never do this again, or like I can't prep you." Because he said like I don't have the bodybuilding mindset. So I said, "Why are you doing bodybuilding prep?"
Yeah.
And
Why
he
you
was
do
like,
the hardest thing that you could do in bodybuilding?
I was like, "Why are you doing it?" And he was like, "Oh, for improvements." I said, "Well, you're not going to improve. You're just going to literally be on stage like out of shape again, like your previous shows. If you don't do this." And then he argued back and gave some little snotty comments. So I said, "Bro, this ain't gonna work." So I just refunded him for the month and cancelled the rest of the direct debit. And now he's now solo or going to someone else. But
I think I might have had him inquire yesterday.
yeah, he said he was going to. He said you're a little bit more relaxed than me, so he's going to go every
Yeah, he mentioned about like he's already binged, and I said, well, we'll just keep that in through the prep.
time.
Just put that in weekly. And he also said the coach was a cunt, so it can only be you. Correct? Correct.
That'll be him.
Nick, prep update. You got the heart doctor tomorrow?
Yes, in with the doc tomorrow. Hopefully see what they say. What was weight? Still holding that same weight, aren't we? What did you say, about 2 kilos in 10 days?
Yeah, 2 kilo off in 10 days.
Have you
So,
announced? Did you say on the last podcast what shows you might be doing?
well, there's only really one show out here, isn't there? There's literally season A or season C
Yeah, but
for
did you say
IFBB.
you were doing another Fed
Yeah, there's NABBA as well, but NABBA's like
in
the
13
shit.
weeks?
No, I think that's less than that now. I'm sure it's, let me just check. So NABBA is 10 weeks, and then IFBB is 12 weeks, and Nationals is 13 weeks. So
Is
over
it
here at work,
Nabba Bendigo?
no,
Oh, because I've got a lad in that 28th of April, Nabba Bendigo.
no. So that's same week as Nationals. So NABBA, I think it's just from Southern Hemisphere or something. It's a local show. It's like equivalent of like a Shidex, I'd say, show sort of thing. But that would just be if it's ready, if it's there, sort of thing. So the main one would be IFBB if the doctor says it's all good tomorrow. So we'll see. But that's main one's 12 weeks, 88 days. So see what comes of that. But
Got to pull a kilo off every week now until then.
fuck off. I'm only 8 kilos off weight cap, or 6 kilos off weight cap, aren't
Correct.
I? So
Yeah, it should be good, man. It's completely different. It's a completely different look, and it's also a completely different way to prep you than last time because there's just so much more muscle.
Yeah, I could imagine it should come off quite quick over the next month or so, if everything gets cleared tomorrow. So just have to wait and see, won't we? See what the boss orders.
Exciting times.
So,
Exciting times. We also got. Oh no, we spoke about. Did we do the last podcast after we filmed?
Yeah, I think we.
yes.
Yeah, it was last week.
Yeah. We were talking about how massive Ben is. Well, he got bigger and it's now. What were you this morning? 240. You were
Got
247.
back down.
Oh,
It was fake 247.
fake news.
245 and a half.
You'll have to get some of Tim's growth in. Get him in the hospital.
Whatever you put on from the growth, you lose with the sweat. So it's not good.
Legend. What else were we going to go through?
Fights we've got on stage this year.
Oh yeah, and me. Thanks, Ben. Thanks for that reminder. Tim doesn't want to hear about it.
Oh, go on, update us.
Right.
You'll
Well,
have to.
5 days. I'm 5 days in. No, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Yeah, I'm in my 5th day, I think, or something like that. I have a coach, guys, which is it's been a long time. Last one was Tim. It ended really badly on a sour note. Wasn't it, Tim?
Were you the client that binged?
Yeah.
He just left, cancelled his direct debit, and never told me he was going. It was awful.
I didn't even set up a direct debit, bro. Fuck you, man. So yeah, I've started with Dan Bastick as of last Thursday, which Ben looks like he's about to laugh at that. Basically, for me, it's like when you're like friends with everyone that's good, it's really difficult because like if I was being coached by like Cal, Martin, uh, Zach, who else? Jack, whoever, Tom Hames. Yeah, I'd get some accountability back. I'd probably start training again and stuff like that. But like I don't feel like not that I don't want to impress them, but and also like if they told me to do something and I didn't want to do it, I'm not going to do it. I'm probably just going to laugh at them. Do you know what I mean? Whereas with Dan, it's like I get on with him well enough to say like, we get on well and I can have a laugh with him and stuff like that, which I do need from a coach. Like I can't work with fucking Hitler. Um, and like it was with Tim, Jesus. Fucking hell. Yes, mein Führer. And but also if he tells me to do something, like I don't want to piss him off because I'm a little bit scared of him. Like I remember even when I started working Nathan style, sorry Nathan, but when you were telling me to do cardio, mate, I weren't doing that cardio, bro. Like in off season, was just not doing it. And now
You are a fantastic example, aren't you?
I'm such a good
Walking
client.
the walk.
I,
Walk the walk.
mate, I walked the walk. I walked the walk years ago. I don't need to do it again. No, but I am now because he put cardio in every single day, and I looked at that and I was thinking, fucking hell, I don't know how I feel about that. But
No one who replied to your cardio called you a Mel.
Hmm?
No one ever replied to your Stairmaster saying you're a Mel.
Hmm.
I was on the way back from A&E. That's why I was up then.
Oh, thanks, mate. Yeah, so I've done the cardio every day, and shock horror, I actually feel better. I know, wild. But the
How much
main
cardio you doing?
hmm?
How much has he got you doing a day?
20 minutes, 20 minutes in the morning, 10 minutes post-workout
No, he meant drugs.
every day. Or, no, we'll go into that. But also, like, I haven't enjoyed training for a very long time, like at all. Nick made a good point because I haven't been on a blast for probably over 6 months, and no wonder I don't really like training. But I just need a new approach because I've got that many fucking injuries and shit like that. And I know that Dan suffers with a lot of injuries and he has to adapt his training stuff. So that was another reason. And again, touch wood, the first 4 sessions I've done, I've got little to zero pain as compared to I would go home and be like, I need to lie down because I'm battered. So a lot of like pyramid set work on the way into sets, but I got absolutely embarrassed in the gym yesterday with this because I had quads and the last but one movement was hack. And bear in mind, I've probably done well over 200 reps before get into this hack at this point with all these pyramid build-ups, then the actual sets. Well, not
So, do
200.
you want to go through what the pyramid build-ups are?
Yeah, okay. So I had hamstring curl to start, and it's top set and the back off, 8 to 12, 12 to 15. But before that, I've got to do 12 reps at 60%, 12 reps at 70%, 12 reps at 90%. So I've already done 36 reps. That's a lot more than I would normally do warming up. Like I'm doing 2 or 3 reps, move the weight up, 2 or 3 reps, move the weight up. Nowhere near failure. Whereas I've already done a 90% set, an 80 and a 70. And obviously I'm having to lift a lot less when I get to my work sets because I'm already thinking, fucking hell, I'm feeling pretty fucked already. But doing that then before a leg press as well. And then before that, the hack was 20 reps, 15 reps, 12 reps, and then 2 working sets. And I got on the Cybex hack to do 20 reps at 70%, and I had to put 0 weight on it to do it. And my legs, even after that 70%, were so full, like I could barely walk. And I was like, how am I going to do sets with weight on? I had to do I did an 8 to 12 set with a plate aside on a Cybex hack. So humbling. But at the same time, I don't care because I had zero pain for the whole session. And my legs felt so fucked and so full. And today they actually don't feel that bad, which is quite a good sign. And I was able to do my cardio this morning. So that's good. Food, we're like in a bit of a, well, we are in a surplus to start us off, even though I am really fat. Um, but just to actually put me in a position to diet. So that's gonna be like the first 10 weeks. 200 test, loads of L-carnitine and growth. Um, and that's it, really.
How much you're going to do?
500 pre-cardio, 500 pre-training. 2 IU growth, 150 test. That's it. But he wants me to get bloods in like 2 weeks, and then we'll probably jump on something. So that'd be fun. And then diet, 10 weeks, and then an off season. Winning. But I'm really enjoying it, to be fair. I know it's only 4 days, but it's the most I've loved 4 days of fucking bodybuilding in probably the last 12 months.
So what's your goal then? What have you set out to do?
NABA,
Or just
Australia. NABA, Australia, bro.
see you there. 10
Redemption.
weeks.
10 weeks time, bro. Diet started yesterday. I don't know. Well, my immediate goal is to actually like what I look like. Because to be fair, after the diet with Tim on that little bit of a rebound we had, straight after that, first like 8 weeks after that, I really liked what I was looking like. And then I did my last pictures last Thursday in the same spot, and I'm pretty much the same weight, and it's the most regressively underloaded physique you've ever seen. I have not progressively overloaded the physique whatsoever. It's really bad. So seeing that was like a massive kick up the arse, to be honest, because I do believe in the lead from the front and stuff like that. But it's also like I've been there and done that, and I didn't enjoy it last year in terms of like anything. So I just fucking sacked it off. But I do like to be seen to be doing what I'm meant to be doing because I do think it brings more people for sure. But I just want to look like acceptable, and right now I don't look acceptable.
Would you say the pyramid sessions take you much longer?
No, because the sessions in itself, let me bring one up.
First time in between them then, if you're building them up at that.
I'm getting into it like about a minute after I've done one.
Yeah.
So, fairly quick. Like quads was adductors, hamstring, leg extension, squat press, hack squat, single leg press. But some of them are like one working set. So it's not taking like that long. I haven't done all the sessions yet, to be fair. Like delts and arms looks pretty big. But like my leg days haven't took long to get through. It was normal, like hour to an hour and a half.
Are you doing the same kind of training across all sessions, or just like?
Not every session is the same, no. I think it is for legs because of my injuries, like lower back and knees. So that would make sense. And there's a bit in chest and biceps just because of my elbows. So But like back doesn't really. Back has like one pyramid set. That's it, and triceps has one.
These pyramid sets, if you're doing 3 pyramid sets and 2 working sets, it's almost like 5 sets, but the first 3 are like 2, 3, 1 RER, and then 2 are 0 RER.
Mm.
That is going to batter you, really.
Yeah,
You're still collating a few effective reps in them earlier sets. Like,
yeah. I was talking to him about it last night after that leg session. It was just like, it's not that pre-exhaustion or anything.
no.
It's actual stimulation. Like you're getting stimulation before you actually go into work things. So yeah, you're not going to be able to lift more, but you're also when you're
You're
on the
not,
way down.
it's not wasted. Like, you're still getting out of them sets a couple of reps here and there.
Yeah. And like when I've got a hack that's got 5 plates on it, whatever, like the how I feel it in my lower back on the way down, I can't feel that with 1 plate because there's no fucking weight on the fucker.
It's a limiting factor for you, and it's taking out that limiting factor of blowing your back out.
Yeah. And my knees literally had zero pain on a Cybex hack with no band, no knee sleeves, nothing. Whereas before it was like, right, I need to put that heat fucking oil on my knees. I need to put knee sleeves on. I need to band it up like a fucking trampoline to get anything out of it. So yeah, it's good.
How's the ego with it then?
I couldn't give a shit, bro. I don't care.
Yeah.
Like, granted, 0 plates on a Cybex and looking like I was struggling towards the end of that 20 set. I was looking around thinking, I hope no one's seeing this. But at the same time, I don't care anymore. I turned 33 this week. Like, I'm old, man. Like, I'm not like I was training like when I was 25. Do you know what I mean? Like, making sure everyone could hear me in the gym so they could look at how much weight I was doing. Because I was looking back at some of the shit I used to do. Tim, we used to train like overhead, like shoulder pressing 65 kilo dumbbells for like reps.
Right, I remember you like loading up 5 plate on the Cybex hack, screaming foundry down. Do you remember? I used to like load up 20 plates aside on that hammer strength and just half rep it and scream fuck out. Like,
Yeah. Used to
we
love that shit.
sometimes, but we had some funny, like, that shoulder press was funny. That leg press, bro, when the seat went from behind you was fucking hilarious.
Feet collapsed, fucking hell, mid set. That was awful.
With the band pulling you down as well. But do you remember when we used to dip and I'd be like wobbling over with like 70 kilo between my legs?
We used to do some dumb shit. I remember like incline dumbbell pressing 75s, like 8, and was like, yeah, elbows are fine, mate. Like, I just didn't used to feel anything. Like RDL in, I used to get quite strong. Like bent over barbell row, 3.5 plates aside for like 10. Like, yeah, it was grip and rip, but I used to have no issues. But that is the reason why I have all the issues now. Wish I could go back.
I haven't hacked in 3, 4 years. Like, my leg training's just abysmal as well. I can barely train legs.
Ben's probably the freshest guy.
Yeah.
It's like it's getting better after I've done stuff with the physio, but still struggle to stand up between sets because my back's so blown.
Yeah, do you want to actually touch on that, Ben, with that Coach Baxter?
Yeah, it was good. It's not like I think like people just go to a physio, they have a massage, and then they think it's going to fix it. But what we actually did is like look at how I was moving within the session, and a lot of it was down to
on FaceTime. This is
no. So what we did is I did movement assessments first, did a video call, like just had a chat. And then what he did was he went right up on like the cues I need to be focusing on, give me some like few primers to do. And then just like a couple of readjustments around like programming. So like starting sessions with kind of like a hip drive or like a split squat to actually open up the hips before going on to something else. And like my pendulum went from like first in the session to like last exercise in the session. And he was like, well, you may not be getting as much weight on it. You can get more out of it because now your hips are more open. So it was just like a lot of it to do with foot pressure. And I think it's been quite talked about. I think it's been talked about quite a lot recently is like foot pressure on the leg press. And like he said to me, just like look at your left heel when you're doing the pendulum. He was like, as soon as you're doing that, you're shifting more pressure to your back, and that's where it's blowing. The very first time I did it.
How does Baxter feel about heels coming off on hacks?
He thinks that, yeah, you can get more knee flexion, but then you're also reducing the
force production.
how you can, force production. So he's like, keep it down. And the first time I did it and kept my heels down, I'd been like 4 weeks not being able to complete a leg session. And like, I didn't really have, there's still a little bit there, but didn't really have issues and was managed to do 2 sets on the pendulum.
It explains as well why your legs have all of a sudden looked imbalanced with your upper in this past 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Like that quick. When we say like people, when we said at the start, we were like people being a responder to drugs. Like Ben's a responder to everything. Sorted out his digestion, everything got better. Sorted out his training, everything got better. Granted, I was not part of the training thing, obviously. Shout out Baxter, legend. The gear's real. Fucking hell, like the man's.
Well, I'm using similar to you, less weight than I was. But
more force production.
Execution, more force production, but less weight and like a little bit more control. And like, I think I pulled back like maybe playing afternoon plates on the pendulum. My legs were fucked compared to what they usually were.
Yeah, sick. That was like me and you, Tim, when we were going through my leg training like last year, when we were like, we just need to add in things that are going to fuck you up without putting you in the bin in terms of your actual body, just your legs, like 1.5 rep sets. Like I've got some of those programmed in chest and stuff. And then like just simple things like pausing. If you pause a leg press properly with 2-3 second pause in the hole, you're going to have to take 2 or 3 plates aside off. Like that's how much difference it makes. But I promise you it will also make a difference to actually stimulating your muscle. And not one of those when people say, yeah, I did pause reps, and you've paused for less than half a second. Like you've got to get Loz. You got to get Loz there next to AJ with the. That's
it's like if you lift 100 kilo and you've got 100% of that tension going through the quad, or you lift 140 and you've got 60% tension going through the quad. Well, that's like 80 kilo going through the quad versus 100 with less load through the knees. So it's not just about how much you can lift. I think people think, oh, but then you're not training as hard, or you're not focused. Now you've reset the movements, Ben, and you've got all that force production coming through the quads, the tension through the quads. You can now progressively overload from that new baseline number. It's not a case of making it easier. It is harder in the long run through the muscle. You're not just working fucking connective tissue. You're working your quads.
That's what I'm trying to explain to people, and they have that hard time coming away from it. Like, if I tell a client to pull back on weight,
it's not a step backwards, it's a step.
Yeah, they step forwards, but it's like, yeah, but you're going to get back to the weight you were doing. But when you get to that weight, you're going to have fucking muscle to go along with it. And right now, what you're doing is not working.
How many times do you look at someone and see the load they lift, and they have no right lifting that fucking load?
Yeah, I can think of one.
Their muscularity does not reflect the loads that they're lifting on that movement. And that's the first point that I see, and it's like, you need to pull back.
But what I hate to see is someone who is massive and has built up a lot of tissue, slinging weight around that they shouldn't be slinging in awful form, because then people think it's justified just because he's big.
Yeah. But you see that, bro, and then you see the way all the clients train, it's exactly the same. And what then you see is they still grow because they grow from anything. Could they grow a little bit more? Probably, but they'll grow from anything because they're a freak. And then none of the clients make progress because they all train the exact same as that one person.
Yeah.
See, it's even with my, because I did some stuff with him around my upper body as well. And like, I'm doing like dumbbell shoulder press. I'm using maybe 15 kilos, 20 kilos less than I was before. But my shoulders are bigger than they've ever been.
Yeah.
But I think the key thing is where people go wrong is they pull back and reset on weight, but they don't keep the intensity in.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then we've got Nick, who has also had a massive turnaround in his training as well. Actually training how he should be.
Sensible, yeah.
Boring.
Yeah. To be honest, it's not. Once you wrap your head around it, it's like, as you've all just said there, like we've put in a single leg hack squat, which is absolutely diabolical. Like I love hack squats. Now I'm hack squatting one plate aside, and it's like once you wrap your head around, okay, the ego's not there. but you're getting a hell of a lot more, and my CNS system isn't absolutely battered for the next 5 days, you can actually train a bit more efficiently, and you see a lot more from it. And not quite like Ben's, but I'd say my quads have definitely come up from a lot less work on them, just purely from getting more out of them. So proof's in the pudding, isn't it?
Yeah.
People get attached to one camp or the other, but it's like intensity and execution are not mutually exclusive. Like they can just be together. You can just train with controlled aggression as hard as you possibly can with good execution. Like, it doesn't have to be one or the other. Not one has to give.
That's one of my pet hates when someone says like, "Oh, like I was pushing intensity, so I just need to reassess and adjust my execution next week." It's like that execution should never left in the first place.
No, and then if you address your execution, the intensity doesn't have to leave either.
No.
Intensity doesn't mean training like a twat. It's just training hard with the right execution.
Correct.
But something that we haven't touched upon as well, actually, about me, that's going to level up my training, is
Yes.
that I'm opening up a gym and got a gym. But it's
Have
just...
you got
You what, bro?
have you got a space, or is it just garage job?
So no, I have now got a unit, which I will send the first amount of money today. I'm off to go see him later. It's 1,600 square feet. So it's pretty big. And I get it on the 1st of Feb. So it's just going to be private for me and Megan. I'm not doing memberships or anything like that. I've bought, and the face can come in, of course, yeah.
And Ben and Nick.
Yeah, we can all train, obviously. But I've bought fucking loads and loads of kit this week, like a ridiculous amount. Get the keys on the 1st of Feb. Their load of kit is on its way from America in shipping containers. I'm putting a little office in there. I'm going to do a podcast studio in there as well.
Yeah.
And then all the kit, Cybex, Nautilus, and Live Fitness. So it's almost like a little B modified of that kind of gym with all the old school Cybex. It's all pin loaded as well. Well, the only thing that's plate loaded is the Cybex Smith, but the rest is pin loaded, because if it's just me and Megan, there's no way I'm buying kilos and kilos worth of plates and dumbbells, because that's where you rack up a ridiculous amount of cost.
Sick.
So it's 5 minutes away as well, so it's going to be sick.
Exciting times. Ben, that's a lot of driving for you, mate. And he hasn't got a pendulum, sorry.
No, it's the only thing to be fair, I've got everything that's required now. I have a kit list here, but there's little bits here and there that I want to add to it.
What you got for biceps?
You what, bro?
What you got for biceps?
Cybex, Preacher Curl machine.
Sick. That working on the peak.
Peakolator.
Fuck's sake. Brilliant. Should we move on to some prep people?
Yes.
Yeah.
Cool. I'll just literally run through it because I've got quite a few on Tuesday. I'll just do 3 for this week. We'll do some more next week or whatever. So let me share my damn screen. Can you see that?
Yeah.
So we got KC. Allow. Catherine started prep today, 22 weeks out. PCA first timers. She's also natty, so she is eligible for natty feds after, which should be fun. She's about 125 pounds at the minute. She came to me 2 years ago at 195 pounds. So she's lost a fuck ton in the last 2 years, which is, I expect, even natty is fucking insane. Anyone doing it is pretty insane. Like, that was a start point, which is like dumb. And she looks pretty fucking wild.
You wouldn't believe she was natty, would you? Jesus.
No, she's a freak, man.
When she came to you, this is a good thing actually. When she came to you, did she want to compete?
No.
So it's also something that was touched upon. I don't know if we did last podcast or on a call, that you can get some really good lifestyle people that in the end do want to compete. It's not always do they come to you just as competitors. They fall in love with the process along the way.
Yeah. legit. Like she had no intention of competing whatsoever. Was not even on the radar at all. But it's just like as she got leaner and stuff like that, and shape was starting to come, and she started to pose and stuff. I was like, man, you could be quite good next year or whatever. And then it's just like her boyfriend's just competed last year. Jan, he's sick as well. To be fair, I think it's coached by Kieran Colbert. I think classic guy, did well in PCA. So yeah, first timers, and then we might. She goes on holiday straight after it, but the thing is with Kat, when she goes on holiday, she just loses weight anyway. So like she's just a freak. Like she's not normal in the slightest. So I don't need to worry about that. We might do some natty shows towards the back end after that because she's not opposed to going assisted at all. Like she's not sat there like I want to stay natty, but I just think it's best to probably do this first one natty, see how she fares, and then if she does two bros natty, like she could probably win a fucking pro card. Like if it goes how I think it's going to go, like with her shape and size and everything. Like yeah, she might only be 125 pounds, but she looks like 150 pounds.
Got some big body parts and shit. Like very out there.
What'd you say, Tim?
Yeah, she's got like with the new Natty Pro calls, she'll have like Spain, Portugal, and France as well for two bros natural pro qualifiers. So you could have a fun back end of the year on there traveling as well.
Yeah, 100%. And then oh shit. We've got next up Emma Curran, who is doing muscle contests and then pro qualifier at Alicante. So going to be heading out there with her in wellness. So she came to me a very long time, closing on like 2 years, and was like strictly natty. Literally, I've never seen a blood test like it. Like test was not even registering. Like it was that bad. And it took us a long fucking while to get things moving. But when she came to me, she was gaining weight on like 2,200 calories and like not gaining like a little bit of weight, like gaining a lot of weight. Was not in a position to diet. So sorted it all out on PD side, hormone side. Got some food back in, started actually losing weight on more food and all that sort of stuff, done a few diet phases, done a few push-ups and stuff. And now she also, I think she was figure in natty, and she obviously wanted to do wellness. So that's an exciting one because she also transforms when she diets. So that'll be a good one to see as well. And then last one, Alexi Junior, 15 weeks out now. We started prep last week at 16 weeks out, mainly because, as you can see from condition, like Alexi, it's literally impossible to get fat. Like it doesn't matter how much he eats, what type of fucking food he eats, he just does not gain body fat really. So a really sick fucking start position from last week. He's already dropped like 4 pounds off in this first week. We're going to try and get like most of the fat loss done like a Ben natty, like get the fat loss done natty and then put the drugs back in towards the back end of prep and kind of like grow into it. He's like, I think he said he's 28 pounds above his last stage weight. Again, as a junior, he's still a junior. I think he's 21.
You're going to do some classic as well?
Yeah. Yeah, so that'll be fun. It's 180 pounds today, so I definitely don't think there's 28 pounds to come off it at all. He is El Nato at the moment as well, so should be good that one. Tim,
I'm just going to do bangs. I'm just going to for a piss.
Okay, Ben, I'll make you host. Hold on. Host is changed.
I've got one currently on prep now. Most of mine are towards the back end of the year.
Yes.
But got Tobias, who came actually similar to what you're saying. He wasn't like coming to me for bodybuilding. Came to me for a photo shoot. And he was just like a fucking weight course in the photo shoot. Kind of guy was like, can't get abs. Like, when he tried in the past, but he got fucking pretty skinned when we did it. And that was with fucking breaking his jaw like 5 weeks into prep. He literally did a liquid diet. So he can fucking do the work. So yeah, he's about 17 weeks out now. He's starting to come in pretty nice.
Good shape.
Yeah, nice shape. Like his waist has come in a lot the last few weeks. But he's just had a kid, which is definitely, he's been sleeping about 3 or 4 hours a night. But he's the type of guy who will just fucking crack on with it. He did his research before the kid came, found out where the closest hospital was to do cardio. So yeah, I've no doubt he'll just fucking crack on and get through it.
Did he have a tear in his shoulder or his chest?
Don't
Just is his right one and looking at him.
Yeah, he struggles. I fucking struggle with this. Is like one side getting it up.
Yeah.
I think it's more just a posing issue that.
Oh, right.
I think it's the way he pulls his trunks up, because I do the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks
Yeah, he should be good. He's moving well. And then got Josh, who is looking good at the moment, sitting at 243. I think we got about doing classic as well. We got about 8 weeks left for our push-up. So he came to me and pulled down first, and then pushed back up. And yeah, we got about 8 weeks left for this push-up. And then we can look to do probably regional, chucking a PCA, and then pro qualifier as well.
sick. He looks like someone that will look entirely different when peeled.
He does.
Yeah.
Like, it seems like when he pushes up, like it comes on his back pretty quickly, but as soon as we pull down, like when we first started, his waist goes super tight. Like his legs have come up fucking loads. His hamstring fucking pretty mental.
Yeah, I think I remember the before pictures of him, to be fair.
Yeah, so he's come up nice. And then we've got a good few first timers coming up. So Sam started with me like 74
Jesus.
kilos, and that's now 80. Well, he's 85 now.
Fucking hell, I've just realised who that is.
Yeah.
He's a legend.
So yeah, he's 10 kilos heavier. I'd say pretty much comparable composition to where he started. That's after a year of. I think that's an important thing to note for a first timer as well. Is like, don't just dive into a prep. Like he's been working with me a year now, where we've done priming phase, push up, pull down, push back up. Then we got 8 weeks left again with this push up, and we do the first timers. But yeah, sitting 10 kilos heavier when he first started. So,
He's definitely more than 10 kilos, like 10 kilos of muscle, because he's definitely leaner.
Yeah,
that's just in arms.
His arms. Yeah, he's doing men's physique dropped up.
Sick. His legs are fucking blown as well, to be fair.
Yeah. Yeah, it's come on nice. Yeah, I've got a few first timers doing it as well. Got similar Tan in for me for a photo shoot. He'll be Masters first timers.
Masters?
Yeah. Tan. Not Sam, Tan.
I was about to say, fucking hell.
Tan. So yeah, a couple of first timers going on this year.
Tim?
You're gonna share. Hold on. You're gonna share the screen over.
Yeah, Ben, you'll have to make Tim host.
How can I do that?
I don't know what.
On the 3 dots on his thing.
Oh.
Tim, you are host.
1 sec.
Yeah, get rid of the WhatsApp chats, mate.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna have to do with it.
Oh, shit. Nattersley.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna pull up.
Like, he's a freak still.
Wait, how do I?
Click share screen. Great podcast.
Sorry.
I think
Where do I do it?
At the bottom, share.
Tim, what are these drugs you're taking?
Oh, here we go.
Man's in a K-hole.
Can you see that?
Nah.
No.
Yeah. Hold on. Yeah, here we go.
We seeing WhatsApp or we seeing Zoom?
Yeah, we're seeing WhatsApp.
Okay. First up, we've got is Hattersley. Well, I'll just pull this up. Obviously, you guys know him as well. Are you competing with him, didn't you, Nick?
Yeah, Bristol show last year. I think it was.
So that was 20 months ago when I took him on, and that's now. They're both post-workout as well, to be fair. So we're going to go again at the back end of the year.
What's the weight difference?
Between them two photos,
Yeah.
that's about 35 pounds.
Yeah.
Between his actual stage weight, it's about 50.
Jesus.
Maybe that's even 40 pounds essentially, but yeah. That's all-time body weight by about 10 pounds on the right. So he was natty on the left, finished his last prep natty, and he's been on assisted for 30 months. And that's only using 550 meg total load as well. We haven't exceeded that yet. So we've got plenty of room to push.
I'm to double it prep.
Yeah, we're going to get some blood work done again and see how far we can continue just pushing drugs for a little bit of time. I mean, he's been super physiological for a while, but he's been using such minimal dosages that we can get away with using it for longer.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's back end of the year, and then we're going to do late pro qualifiers and see where he stands. I actually think he could do pretty well in them, especially in the back end of the year. And then we've got Camille, who is
no chance making his weight.
Yeah, so he's about 16, 15 kilo above his weight cap, I believe, still. Above his classic weight cap. So, yeah, he wants to do classic. So we'll see how that goes.
Is he dropping quite quick?
He's already 6 kilo down.
In how long?
3 weeks.
Yeah.
4 weeks. Granted, we've come from down into we're natty now. So, Slim's been pulled, a little bit GH has been pulled down a little, and then a load of androgen. So he's lost a great degree of fullness from that. Food's obviously been lowered, so food volume in the guts less, but he has made massive changes from a composition standpoint already. Like, it's going to be an absolute shift. If not, like, he's not going to do classic at the end of the day, really. If we can, I'm not willing to sacrifice that much tissue to get him into classic. And I think, if we can, I think he'll do a show within heavies or even supers, and then straight into an off-season rebound out, and then go again like at the back end of the year or something.
Yeah.
And then we've got Luke Fez, and this is what he currently looks like. But for reference, this is what he looked like last time prepped. Ickle bit of the dream tan. And that was maybe 3 years ago.
Tim, when you sent him through to me and I thought it was someone I knew?
Yeah.
The person that I thought it was, 2 days later, then inquired with me.
Really?
I was like, what the fuck? That's so weird. And subsequently joined up. And he's a first time as men's league and he's going to be fucking sick. Sorry, carry on.
So yeah, Luke, we're going to do classic. So we're going to do PCA and two bros. And then we'll which one he does better in, we'll then decide kind of what finals we'll do there. But with the shape that he has when he gets lean, I think he's going to do ridiculously well. Yeah. This is, he hasn't really been on cycle for a very long time. It's not been like super serious for him for a very long time, so he's now just locking in. So we're going to continue to push until prep, and I think he's going to explode.
Wish I looked like that.
So yeah, pretty.
No gear.
But yeah, there's three that are one at the start of the year, one at the end, and one kind of midway through the year.
His midsection really, really nice.
Oh, yeah, so nice, isn't it, when he gets peeled?
Absolute cheese grater.
Yeah. He's relatively short as well, so he's not the heaviest. He looks ridiculous.
What's his weight?
Have a look. So he's 5'7" and he's currently 210 pounds. So still a fair lad, to be fair, to say he's 5'7". But yeah, and how many did you say you got on stage this year, Chapman?
I think I counted earlier 53. So new PB, new PR. And that's without people that jump on at fucking 8 weeks out saying, I need help.
Yeah, I'm in the mid-40s, so between us we'll have nearly probably, 110 odd on stage.
Yeah. Is it exciting for Physique Pro? I'm already tired thinking about it. Nick, big dick.
Well, how do I share this over? How do I change host?
Click on his face, like the three dots next to him. Make
Okay. You're now the host, senior.
I'll just pull up Brendan, who's first timer. Obviously. So how the fuck do I share my screen? Can you see that? Yeah. So he's currently 14 weeks out. We've pulled off
What's the time difference between those photos?
probably about 12 weeks now. Give or take. So he's doing the ICN natural compat, yeah. He's still got loads to come off because he holds a lot of it on his quads and midsection, but it is coming off slowly. Let me pull up the front shot. I want us to load it up. So I think we've pulled off what 15 kilos now, I think, in total. Obviously his start position wasn't great, but he's held it well, and now it's just slowly titrating it down week by week. So he's another one that may go again at the end of the year as well. He does want to potentially go assisted after his shows, but he wants to do natural shows first, and then probably go into a rebound out of that. So we'll take that as it comes. But he also is debating doing a show in Philippines maybe as well, if there's anything on schedule around then. So see as it comes, but say probably got a fair bit to come off still, but he's doing well. So then I've got a few at the back end, but they've not decided on shows yet. I've pulled 2 from the start of the year, from perhaps just weren't on the ball. So push them to the back end of the year, and we'll be deciding obviously come the middle of the year where they land and what shows and that. But Brendan's obviously first up. So he's 14 weeks, I think, yesterday, day before. Yeah, so 14 weeks. So it's just a case of teaching him how to pose now for a first timer. He's fucking shit. So, but yeah.
I've got that lad, I think, doing the ICNs. So it might be the same show.
Which one is it? It might be X. Find out, let me know. It's a very weird posing setup, ICN. They're like back shots are like a men's physique front shot, but at the back. But like classic, and like men's physique hit a side chest and shit like that. It's very, very weird to wrap your head around, but it's their federation, isn't it? So
I think he's doing ICN. I think he's like an ICN sponsored athlete or something. Do they do that?
they do progress. They give out a fair few pro cards, I believe.
OCB, is that another one?
OCB, yeah. That's just another natural one, I believe.
Is it?
Yeah, isn't your kid the kid that won the WWE belt?
Yeah. No, he's done PCA, OCB, and NBA. He's an NBA. I don't know if he's going to do any ICN. Yeah,
What's he doing?
Yeah.
What shows is he doing this year then?
So the first one's that NABA Bedigo.
Down in
And then PCA Oz in May.
Yeah, so they're all. Where is he based?
I don't know. I don't know where it's based in it. Bendigo. Where is that?
When they go down Melbourne.
What a great name.
Is that the other side of you or not?
Yeah, it's about, if I was to drive, it's about an 18-hour drive, I think.
Are you Perth side?
No, I'm up north. That's down south.
Oh, okay.
So it's just a flight though.
Been a link up.
Well, if
Keep it
there are
area.
some shows, that'd be decent because then you're there as well.
Yeah. Tell them to come up and do the Queensland shows.
So whereabouts are you? Like Brisbane way on?
Yeah. So there's two in Brisbane before that if he's ready earlier. Depends what Feds he wants to do.
I
Only
find
one piece.
my geography of Australia like awful.
Yeah. It's what I'm here for.
Is the majority of Australia just wasteland, like nothing there?
The easiest way to describe it to you is if you go around the outside, you'll always find things. If you go in the middle, you'll find less. So
Right. I think that's a wrap up for the episode 2. Nick, could you make me host again, please, mate?
you already host, boss.
Right.
Yeah.
What a guy. Thank you, bro.
Mhm.
Thanks for listening. Comment, share, subscribe, like all that shit. And we'll see you again next week.